Hello there, and welcome to some juicy Company Heroes 3 action. You're looking at Orangepests. That's right, Pathfinder spam, USF. He's in this third place playoff again, and he's up against, in the north, it's IncaUna's Deutsch Africa Corps. I'm A, and I'm here today with Animarchy. How are you doing, son?
I am doing pretty damn well, taking a break from my usual history shenanigans for some good old-fashioned esports. First official foray into esports casting and commentating. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me on.
It's great to have you. It's great to have you. Him and I have very similarly weird senses of humour, so we're just going to try and do a good job of casting this best of 5. Today it's a best of 5. It features Battle Group Terminator, meaning this is the first and only time Orangepest can use Airborne in this best of 5 series. So, if IncaUna from the north, currently playing as, that's right, it's Dax, so he hasn't chosen yet, but let's face it, probably the Italian armour. You know, this is the first time you'll be able to use that, and that's the last time you'll be able to use it. Animarchy, talk to us about how much you've played CoH3 and what you've played of it.
Well, I've been playing CoH3 since the release, and I've been playing primarily 1v1 auto matches. I haven't had much experience in the team dynamic, but thankfully this isn't a team tournament, so we're doing rather well on that one. But I have noticed that the auto match scene is a bit, well, for lack of a better term, forked. Like, there are some it's in the early phases. It's in the early phases right now, as it was with CoH1 and CoH2. Every time there's a new Company Heroes release, it's always the same.
Yeah.
Well, Pathfinder's going after this bike here.
Yep.
But
they stopped the decaf very importantly, and
he's going for the fuel too. So aggressive push here from Orangepest. He's going for it.
He's going for it. And very importantly, Inca has to protect this heavy cover now, because if he gets pushed down over this hill, which is incredibly imber, in my opinion, for the Western player's perspective, he's not going to get back up the hill easily. So yeah, he's having to double up on the heavy cover there, whilst the Kradschützen caps up the east of the map.
Absolutely, yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, I think that the big problem, well, not wanting to be a downer, but I think the big problem is that, like with most games these days, it's been optimized for tournament play. Look at that, moving through the cover. Absolutely micro-intensive. He's going to take some damage, but he's gonna keep it alive. He's got to be careful.
I can actually, I'll turn you up just now, actually. Sorry about that. Let me turn Animarchy up, guys. But I can actually say why that is the case. It's because the games crash during team games when they're trying to make a game, and 1v1's simple. So that's, everybody, I think, in part of the co-dev process and at Relic, were like, yeah, team games, where's the money's at? We need to make the team games as good as possible. But if you're making a game that crashes during team games, that's difficult.
That's difficult. It's very difficult. I mean, especially when, you know, like I was seeing a lot of Helping Hands' playthroughs, especially when your machine guns just don't spawn. That's really cool. But look at this blob.
Yes.
Look at this absolute monstrous. Oh, get out. Yep,
get out. And now this guy's going to have it tough. He throws the rifle grenade in, but now he's got to back away into his own smoke just to survive here.
The fuel. The pyros.
Yep, that's
incoming. Yep, there it is. Ooh. He's gonna be careful with that. He's gonna be careful with that pyro squad. He's gonna a lot of health going down here on IncaUna. He's pretty low across the board. He's gonna have to get his truck out a bit quicker than normal.
Yeah, but all eyes, of course, on the M16, which is gonna absolutely eviscerate. It's really fast. It's as fast as Orangepest can humanly get it. And the Kradschützen could be in danger. Many of this mine was not been able to complete it.
He's got to leave. He hasn't got anything that can really hurt this. He's gonna have to go. He's gonna have to either early transition for some form of AT. So he's probably gonna have to go for the Panzerjägers in the track, which is the
yes, build, it is what he has to go for, and then an 8-rad probably just to, you know, hold the line. It's
He's managed to keep the fuel economy roughly neutral, even slightly in its favor, despite the fact that Orangepest went Pathfinder. So he's in a reasonably good position. He just needs to keep the pressure up on the fuel, because that investment on the M16 is going to be the big player here, because he needs to get something out that can kill that, and he's already made an investment on it. Even if it is 30 fuel, it's set him back. But he's probably not going to go for any other vehicles. I mean, US forces generally want to go straight to straight to Chev, and he's going to get paras in. Yep, the paras are already in.
Yeah, paratroopers and bazookas are absolutely essential for surviving against DAC armor as it starts to appear. But one thing that's happened quite well so far from Inca's perspective is he's been able to keep the M16 mostly distracted. It's gotten 0 kills thus far, and I think the Kradschutzen and its constant harassment is a big part of that.
Yeah, you got to stay on top with the micro in Company of Heroes 3. That's the big one. I mean, it's been true of all the Company of Heroes, but it's the micro intensity that I think caused a lot of problems for newer players and pieces of trash like me. trying to sort of do the extensive micro of, you know, playing as either DAC or, you know, Wehrmacht or US forces, where you've got to try and sort of keep up with the sheer wall of infantry sections from the Brits or the avalanche of light vehicles from the DAC. You just have to keep on to... Ooh!
Yeah, juicy wipe there. Very juicy wipe.
Ooh.
That amounted... that happened quickly, but he's gone
for the
call in.
Battle group.
2 L640s, so the M16's gotten a squad wipe, but its days might be numbered. Got this guy offering himself as an advanced vanguard.
Ballsy play. Is he gonna? Yeah, he's. Oh, there's the Zooks on the Paras just in time. He's gonna have to. He can't fight that. He cannot stay. He's gotta pull back there. He doesn't. It's such a ballsy move with the unsupported armor. Like, oh, there we go. There's the half assault grab.
Yeah, he's timed it beautifully. He's gone for the assault grounds and the L640s, giving him a really well-rounded composition, to be honest. Just to refresh your memory, guys, this is Italian infantry, and it's the L640 there as the first decision from IncaUna with the assault grounds.
Ooh, assault. Like, I mean, the big thing for Orangepest right now is he's got that US Forces early game map control. He is out here dominating the center of the field, which is where you want to be, but the thing is, the momentum might go to Inca here if he can get sort of. The big problem is he's forced to, because the way he's got set up right now, he has to concentrate his guys together to take some ground, which is what he's going to have to start doing. You can see the units assembling at the north of the map there.
Yeah. And you can also see that his fuel economy is hurting. He's got plus 13 at the moment versus plus 33 for Orangepest. And,
I mean, Orangepest has got, what, like 4 Pathfinders, 2 Paras, and a vehicle out. I mean, I don't know. He just doesn't have enough. With that squad wipe, he just doesn't have enough smash on the field here.
He doesn't have enough what, sorry?
Enough smash. Doesn't have enough smash. He doesn't have enough oomph.
Oh, smash! I mean, yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah.
It sounded like Smirsh, the way you said it. I was trying to think, is this Russian for something? I didn't quite know.
I mean, well, Smash is technically the Soviet counterintelligence service.
Yes, that I was thinking. Yeah, exactly. One of the many, of course, because what would happen is they'd make a new one, then purge the old one, and kind of cycle that every 5 years, really.
I mean, Second Chief Directorate of the KGB, the NKVD, Smash is specifically counterintelligence. I mean, you can go any, but none of that's really important right now because
the Kradschutzen certainly has been purged. That's been found out by the M16 well and truly. This thing now, and I was lambasting its lack of kills. It's now got 2 vehicle destroys and an infantry kill to its name. But here they come. The L640s want it. But the bazooka paratroopers protecting it like the bodyguards they are, whilst the assault grenadiers hunt them down. Many people
are going into the building with the grenades. Oh my god! Oh!
That could have been a lot worse.
That could have been a lot worse. But this is devastating for the vehicle if he can get the shots off. But he's got the height advantage. Yep, here come the Zooks now. And the smoke, and the Zooks are retreating. He can go for it. Nah.
No, I'd have to say, I think IncaUna should be a little bit disappointed.
Oh, there's the 8-Rad, though.
Yeah, that might make up for it. Surely these guys are going to die. Surely.
Surely. Run, Radio Man, run.
He's got a giant. Look at him run.
He's gonna make you Chad. You absolute Chad. Go, buddy. Go. With the radio.
What's that game that was terrible then became kind of good and you were just commuting everywhere? Is it Dead Man Standing, Last Man Standing, Death Stranding?
Death Stranding, that's the one.
That's it. It's the guy from Death Stranding.
yeah. Nah, the guy from Death Stranding is Norman Reedus, it's the guy from The Walking Dead. You know that show you watch the first 4 seasons of and then want to...
Correct, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you know, the one where you sort of think eventually... Look, you can, like, there are boring TV shows and none of that. You know what's not boring? This Pathfinder push up north here. Is going...
What an amazing link! This guy's a professional! We're going to
Look,
keep you around from now
segue.
on with professional links like that. That's seamless. They're just like butter off a hot biscuit. That's fantastic.
Absolutely, absolutely incredible stuff. You know, I learned it from a classic Australian satire TV show called the Chasers War on Everything. We used to have a segment every week.
Talking about the Chasers War on Everything, this 8-Rad has a war on everything right now. It's pushing straight into the southwest of the map, but runs into the bazookas.
Oh, look at that transition. Transitions on transitions. Good lord.
Doesn't get better than that, my friend.
We should just change our name to I don't know. What's the... I can't use, like, there you go. Esoteric references. Like, I could say Today Tonight for Australia, or I could say
but only
60
K-Pen
minutes
will
for
get
the
it.
US.
Nice! Hellcat is coming out relatively soon here. We have flanking
11.
speed available, of course we do. And it could actually mop up these L640s, but...
Oh, he's seen it. He's seen it.
It's
though.
trying to
I
tempt
think
them in. Yeah, it must have been seen. Yeah, it's been seen by everything but the
look, there's the
Marder.
Marder.
Indeed.
Oh god, that's bad. That is very bad. The Marder's gonna go down for sure, but you might... They isolate... Oh.
Bazookas are ready, and the 8-Rad's right into the center.
This is disastrous. This is disastrous. Oh, yeah, game over.
Yeah, that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote.
All she wrote. 12-minute game. Good lord. Crushed.
Absolutely crushed. That's a nice thumbnail there. We'll go for that one. Like
that's a thumbnail and a... Good lord. That is. Ooh, I mean, I don't want to sound mean, but I was kind of expecting a bit more of a sort of throwdown there, but a 12-minute game, that's brutal. That is brutal. Absolutely excellent play from the American team there. That's just incredible stuff.
It almost looks like the L460 or whatever it is Flammenwerfer variant, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's just absolutely, yeah. That was Orangepest who won that one, wasn't it? That was the...
It was indeed Orangepest, yeah. So just to clarify exactly what happened there, everybody, just in case our commentary didn't quite cover it. He kind of tempted him in with the M16, pulled it back over here, and it looked like IncaUna kind of realised what was up, but even if he did, he clearly didn't react to it fast enough, because the Marder was a sitting duck right here. Hellcat comes in, and then the M16 came in just to troll him even more. Got the Airborne, who are absolutely going to dominate everything that's here. These two units are definitely going to die, and the Hellcat's barely got a scratch on it. So that is just a clear... I'm going to say checkmate from Orangepest. I don't even want to say throw from Inca. It's just a good play, really. So GG, well played. 1-0 to Orangepest. Was indeed brutal. And you were saying about positioning just now? Yeah, you think it was a bit of dodgy positioning, perhaps?
I think that's what the biggest issue is in terms of like Company Heroes gameplay. I think I might need to be turned up. People in the chat saying
I was tussling with that. You should be a lot better now. Is everybody happy with the volume mix now? Should be a lot better.
Yeah.
After the first...
we bug splatted. First bug splat.
Yeah, I thought so.
There we go. Classic. So, yes, I am very verbose. One of the comments. I'm a YouTuber.
That means you're talking too much. That means so. But how the trick to casting as a partnership, as I'll teach you the ropes, is you tend to talk. You do 2 or 3 sentences at a time, and you end with emphasis, and that is your not opponent, your teammates' chance to speak. Is I'm like, and here we go. He's gonna go in. Boom. You know what I mean? Then I tag you in, and that's how it tends to work. Doesn't mean that you have not done very well. It's a secret trick that I've kind of built up with 50 other people over the years. It's very good, though. not bad for your first go.
Apparently, I'm too loud now.
He's joking. Don't listen to them. They're very good at trolling.
Oh, good lord. Good lord.
So yeah, we'll go into game 2 in a second. Yeah, exactly. So you've got a YouTube channel, haven't you?
Yes, I do. I am climbing that greasy pole. It's my full-time job though now, so I
Is it
guess I'm doing all
really?
right.
Wow.
Yes, it is. It is indeed. There it is. There is my YouTube channel on your screen that I'm looking at now. This is
Yeah, it's on
me. I
everybody
do this
else's
full
screen.
time.
Why is
Hello.
Russia always weighed in on a big issue there? That's a good one.
Oh,
I bet you weren't saying that after 1 week of that war. Nobody else was. What
I
is
mean,
this? The tank of girls
oh,
and Panzer. Are you helping Hans's
yes.
best friend?
So no. I kind of dabble. I'm a military historian. Is what I studied for. Basically, it's what I became. And then I was like, huh, I've got all of this stuff. I've got all of this stuff going on. I'm a trained military historian. Can I get an actual job? No, because art degrees and
Trained
shit.
military historian. I love it.
Yeah, literally. I go through military history. I go through history, like military history in my degree, and I'm like, hey, I've got all these skills. I know how to write histories, and I know how to do all this shit. Can I get a job in the history field? No, I'm gonna go sell telephones. And I was like, selling telephones, making much more money doing that. And then it's like, hey, you should start a YouTube channel. All the other people who have art degrees and can't get jobs are doing that. So I started it. And then Putin invades Ukraine, and I'm just like,
Oh,
well,
so all
all
this
the
took over in the last year. You've kind of got
yeah,
a big YouTube.
because the thing was, all these people, like, you would go onto the BBC or CBS, and they'd be like, okay, here are the Russian tanks marching. This is a Russian T-34 tank, and it's like a T-90, and you're like,
Yeah, yeah.
and you're just like, okay, no, someone's gonna have to do this, and someone's gonna have to use independent sources, and it's gonna be me. So I did it, and that's what happened. My friend Laserpig is the
This I
is
love
the
talking to this guy. He's got a friend
I,
called Laserpig. Everybody.
uh, people in the chat will know who Laserpig is.
Okay, sorry,
We
my
run a
bad.
we run a podcast called the NAFO Even Rounder Table, which is a long joke, but yeah,
Oh
it's
man.
it's
Okay.
it's yeah. My friend Laserpig and I both blew up because of this damn war because we're
So
historians who
you're
have covered it.
profiting. Just let's be
Yeah,
completely honest.
war
You've done a
profiteers.
you're a war profiteer, absolutely. So
I'm
that's
I'm a,
good.
I'm a war profiteer. I'm a
Well, I
horrible
also
person.
profit off people's misery because I run advertisements on Company Heroes tournaments. So we're
Yeah,
one
so
and the
there you go.
same, you and I. One and the same. All right. Okay. So I've got that set up. Let's go over to here.
Well, actually, it's a bit unfair to say we blew up because of the war. We blew up to big sizes because of the war, giggity. It's because we've both covered it from the sort of military history angle, but realistically, it's been a case of I started with the sort of history of like naval history, and all you need to do is anime has a very large warships turned into cute girls scene. So I just did, hey, you know this cute girl you like? Here's the actual boat she's based on, and here's the actual history that you might be able to learn something from.
You're
And sure enough, I
educating
did that.
weebs. I
I
understand.
educate. This is my effort.
Well,
I'm
interestingly, I would be a big supporter of re-education camps for weebs. So if you want to help with that effort, that'd be great. Let's start game 2, shall we? I think I've got everything set up. IncaUna on the left. Let's go. And here we go. We've got game 2. We've got IncaUna, who's down on his luck. He's got Brits this time. What do you want to see him do differently, Animarchy?
Well, I'm thinking maybe if he's going to be doing Brits, he's going to. What he wants to do is he wants to get as many units out as possible, and he wants to get the field. He wants to get those infantry sections rolling, which it looks like he's starting to do. And he just needs to dominate that map control, because that was his biggest problem. Orangepest just pushed him off the points. and, denied him, positioned him, and then just, well, railed him into the ground, just outplayed it. He just had more stuff in more places. And so I want to see a big improvement in map control, and he's going to need to just start pumping out units and get them out there, I think.
He's going to have to try. And he's got the first of how many infantry sections do we expect to see, chat? Any guesses? Shall we go above or below 6? That's your betting line if I'm a betting company. Do you want to go above and including, or 5 and including? So Tidal's gone for 5 and under. We've got loads of votes for 6 and over. Oh, wow, okay.
I'm in solidarity with my fellow Australian. I think he's gonna go the full Monty. He's gonna bring everything in.
Fair enough. I have made a juicy emote. If any of you have Amazon Prime, I think it's AECO Boys. I want to try. It's going to be very topical until Relic finally balance them. We are going to have to see a very juicy balance change for these things at some point. I am actually starting to think a revamp is necessary for the British infantry sections and just how the Brits work, because they kind of... It's not like they are using them as crutches right now. It's like they're using them as an entire respiratory and living system. If without the infantry sections being powerful, the Brits pretty much don't have a leg to stand on.
I mean, really, the Brits are such a, plug-and-play faction. I think the life support analogy is pretty good. We're not just talking life support like a crutch, as you say. Forget that. I think it's full-on RoboCop. Like, it's literally, I'm just going to replace my entire body with infantry sections, and I'm going to give them AT rifles. Just all of the AT rifles. I mean, to be fair, they're all RoboCops because they fire those damn things from the shouldered position.
It's
and I don't
incredible.
Know
they're massive. Yeah, I know. They got bipods for a reason. They're meant to be fired from prone. But let's not pretend Company Heroes has ever been in any way. There we go. The first Bersaglieri out, and they're launching themselves into action. They don't care.
Probably the best change I think Company of Heroes 3 has actually made is that altitude mechanic. I really like it. Like superior as a combat aviation guy, superior altitude makes sense, and now that it's finally modeled, it's pretty good. I do like the fact that it negates cover, but he's taken a big risk. Like, he's got to watch going through these open areas with all these infantry sections. Oh, yep, we got the 4th one out now.
Yeah, 4th one out. Always backed him into a corner. He's really backed into a corner. I've never been down this area of the map before. He's really... Oh, he's going to hide even more. He's between a rock and a hard place. Oh, God. I've got a lot.
I was going to say, a literal rock and a hard place. I've never seen that in a Company Heroes game before. Oh, wait.
Call an ambulance, but not for me. IncaUna with the backup.
Absolutely. That was the play. He's going for mass infantry, and yep, like I thought, Bersaglieri to counter, and there's the first boys. The boys have arrived.
They have indeed. The first one's out. He's up to 4 infantry sections, but I'm sure he's got another one on its way. He's actually going for training centre first. Maybe we'll see infantry training.
Yeah, he's gonna want to get that, I think, just because it looks like he's gonna go the Brit meta. He's just gonna get infantry training, and well, the boys are indeed back in town. He's already got a vet 1 squad. So
there we go. Got radio net. Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
British Armoured Battle Group. Well, we did say it's Battle Group Terminator today, so IncaUna clearly not wanting to use a good battle group of Brits first. He's going to save his big guns for later.
I think that might be the go. I mean, the Brits, as I was looking at the auto match tables, I was looking at the Oceania rankings because I know I'm never going to compete in the world rankings, so maybe I can be King of Australia, Mad Max style. I was looking at the rankings, and I saw that, like, Deutsche Afrika Korps and US forces and even Wehrmacht were like, oh yeah, we have a 50% win rate in 1v1, maybe a 62% here for the really good players, and maybe 59%. And then I looked at the Brits auto match 1v1, like 78% win rate.
Yeah, I know. They're so easy to play relatively. But importantly, I think they've got a 10% boost on this particular map. I just feel like something about playing from Southwest in tournaments has really helping them. So maybe when we get more tuned and more balanced in this tournament scene, we will want to have a look at that, as the shoe mine is inadvertently dodged there by IncaUna, who's up against Panzer Pioneers with the flamethrower, so we're going to want to keep away from them for the time being.
Whoa. Ooh, he's dicing with death. He doesn't see it, obviously. I mean, we've got 2 boy squads, and bunching up near that mine, that could get expensive.
Getting healing, recuperation, repairs and restoration back in base. And he'll be back soon enough. Let's check on his teching. So, of course, he's going for this left side of Italian combined arms for now. No sign of anything else at the time being.
Kind of interesting. He's going for 3 Panzer Pios and 2 Bersaglieri. I would have thought he'd do it the other way around, because, you know, you kind of want the mass on the field to deal with the amount of infantry sections he's gonna have coming out. So you'd want the numbers. You'd want the machine gun squads to sort of deal with the amount of boys, as it were.
Well, one thing we have to keep in mind in this game is that Orangepest, there's that mine. Keep in mind, I did say keep in mind, but we have to keep in mind that Orangepest got to a 36 win streak against mostly Brits with the DAC using the Stug D, and he has just teched it up. So IncaUna isn't up against anybody's DAC here, he's up against Orangepest's, and it's a powerful combo.
As we all know, one does not choose the Stug life. The Stug life chooses them, and that is something you must accept. It appears the Orangepest has led on from Dane's example and has embraced the Stug life.
Absolutely. I was about to say, what happens is you get an envelope in the post, and you open the envelope, and your inner narrator actually tells you that you've been invited. It says, "You have been invited for the Stug life." And from that moment, you know that your calling is there. You know that your calling is there. So, who's going to win this engagement? I mean, the Brits surely are going to have to win it. Panzer Pioneers are buying time on the fuel. They're holding for now.
Panzer Pios don't have the staying power to really stick with that many infantry sections. Just infantry sections in general, especially with the boys. So it's going to be a bit of an issue if he keeps running in 1v1s. That's the big thing I've noticed when fighting the Brits is you can't do what the Axis teams used to do back in the old days, where you could sort of grab 1 or 2 infantry squads and sort of fight mano y mano, as it were. You kind of had to. No. You have to blob up to counter the inevitable Brit.
Indeed, the DAC aren't. They're a very blobby faction for one of those reasons. But now with the Stug D, they'll be able to assemble around it and slowly try and pull and push their opponents apart.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. For a reference for my fellow nerds in the chat, Hippo team has entered the field. That is right.
So. I won't ask the reference. Okay, so how many boys? We've only actually gotten 4 infantry sections this game and 2 Royal Engineers. Upgrade-wise, he did indeed get infantry training. Of course he did. Meanwhile, Stug's on the hunt, disassembling all of this heavy cover. Doesn't want IncaUna to be using that. Orangepest Stug wants to get to Veteran C1 so it can go into lockdown mode, but it's going to be evaded for now, and the boys' AT is going to continue to salvo it from afar.
The Sturmgeschützabteilung with that massive frontal armor bonus is just gonna... It's going to nullify that boy spam a little bit. If he can get another one out on the field, which I'm pretty sure he's going to, I reckon he's going to go double Stug.
Yeah, of course he will. He absolutely will. Might try and, add to his flavouring with it and see if he can get something else out as well. But yeah, double Stug's definitely on the agenda.
He's got an AT gun coming out though for IncaUna. Is going to have some smackdown on that thing. So we're going to ballsy repair move.
Yeah,
ballsy.
Yeah, he does a lot of that on the finer reaches of the tolerances of competitive play as Orangepest. It's one of the reasons he's not consistently been able to get into grand finals of tournaments. No offence to him if he's listening to this from somewhere else, but he does tend to play a little bit overly risky at times. If you notice players like Isildur and Lovenest and Nagano, they do tend to be a little bit less risky.
Anti-tank weapon and
Yeah, I think that's the big thing I've noticed with the best Company of Heroes player. They are the best Company of Heroes players tend to be as passive aggressive as a corporate email. Like they really are. They sort of hover out of range. They move around and they pick their moments. They pick when they push.
And then when you see the 3 tanks with Loiter coming in late game, that's when they've taken you to HR with an email that just says catch up in the subject. We need a catch up, and that's when you know your days are numbered. Here we go. We've got the second Stug D on the field. We've got the 6-pounder that's looking for a position. This is a pretty decent funnel for Stugs, but not if the Stugs get to you first.
This is the danger. Oh, the Stug flank, it's back. The Stug flank is back, and he's got the power up on that one. But he's got to move.
Yes.
He's got to leave.
Because the 6-pounder does counter the Stugs, unlike the boys' AT rifles. They're a soft counter, but this is very much a hard counter.
a fuel point is being overrun.
That's indeed K-Pen speaking from experience in the chat. Yeah, that is exactly when you know the termination email is coming. You'll get in. You'll get an email, and the meeting. You'll know it because the meeting time is like right before your shift, and you're like, I know how this one goes.
Yeah, you're detaching your lanyard as you enter the office. It's not good. Cradshutson actually has been repaired now. He's stopping, just capping it with it 60% health. 90% will do.
Getting the center of the map under control, moving the Sturmgeschütz, the infantry support vehicle, without infantry, like a baller. Absolute mad lad.
Who needs infantry when you can destroy infantry? In this case, focus on the building that spawns the buggers. But the 6-pounder is there, and it's going to force them away.
Yep. Ready to be quick on the draw there. I mean, honestly, Orangepest is looking pretty damn solid here. He's managed to wow, that's a sentence. He's managed to keep the boys at bay, as it were. But we have ourselves a tank from IncaUna. We do indeed have ourselves a Crusader AA.
It is indeed a square pyramid on tracks. I'm not so sure that angling will deflect much, to be honest. But it certainly is an attempt at angling. There was an attempt, and there was an attempt at life from these Panzer Pioneers, but that's been taken away from them imminently. One more shot should do the trick.
Oh, that's a big oof. That is a big oof, and those Stugs are not going to be able to get rid of that thing easily. I mean, we're in a bit of a mid-game Cold War standoff, as we usually end up in games like these at this level, until someone can get some armor on the field that will do some damage. So it really remains to be seen whether Orangepest is going to go for some heavy armor maybe, or he might go for martyrs. I'm going to guess martyrs, and he's going to play the long game. He's going to Stug and martyr it up, I guess, but that's just a theory.
It's the way.
Game.
Martyrs can help out. They're also very low fuel, so if you happen to lose them, you can quite easily replace them.
Mind you, that AA is absolutely chewing up models. His manpower bleed's going to be something chronic.
Do you think we'll see the anti-history tank in this game? The Black Prince? Possible.
Oh.
Yeah, you've got the same reaction as me. That's coming from somebody that watches hentai history or whatever it is you watch. You know what I mean? That's like... So if the Black Prince makes you react that way, I wonder what it does to people such as the purists out there.
I'm not sure how Darjeeling Summer would handle her glorious, wonderful St. Gloriana's Academy team being defiled with such an ahistorical, unreliable, majestic...
Did Helping Hands create you in a laboratory?
I've been a fan of his for a while, but no,
nothing gives it away. Absolutely nothing.
Anti-tank crews are on standby for orders.
He's probably watched my video. I've only done, despite how much I love that show, I have only done one tank history video, and of course it was on the Tiger.
There's a remarkable amount of restraint. We are actually having 2 AT guns this game, which is very Co2 of IncaUna, but it's not very Co3 of him. Oh, look at the applique armor. I'm not a building, I'm a Stug. Oh, what a shot that was!
Oh, devastating hit. Devastating hit. And that's another one too. Good lord, that actually was quite a play. But we've got the Caro Armatas on the field now. More effective than the Armata T-14 Russian main battle tank that has come out, because the Italian tankette actually moves.
Yeah, indeed.
Which is rather incredible.
Yep, for a little two-man tank that probably went about 15 miles per hour. They're very fast in CoH3. That's for certain. They're barely much more than a bloody T-17, aren't they? These little 1930s era kind of light tanks. You know what I mean? And
yeah, it looks like they've got a very similar chassis to the old C-38, like the old 38T. Very much a reminiscent design, but like everything Italian and motorized, to quote Jeremy Clarkson, the Italians will build a vehicle as good as a vehicle can be briefly before the electrics catch fire, the engine dies, and the crew have to get out and push.
yeah. They're very good against Ethiopians with sharpened spears as well, just to be a bit dark there. And that's pretty much it. As soon as they were up against the British, they didn't quite do as well in the African desert, to be honest.
No.
But not because of boys' AT rifles. They certainly weren't. They probably were quite good against Italian tanks now.
Actually, against the Italian tanks, yes, the boys' AT rifle is perfectly serviceable, and indeed...
Look at how he's holding his! This is incredible! This is why it was so serviceable! Look at the swag on him! These guys are like a metal band from the early 90s, or like Nirvana with their guitars, you know what I mean? As low as possible on the strapping.
Use the force, Luke. Let's go.
Kurt Novolesic of Boys AT rifle users there.
He's got psychic powers with which he will project.
This is awesome.
Look, they're both doing it.
I know they are. They're awesome. He's in a very tricky predicament now because the Stugs have Veterancy 1. They can really do well, but so can the 6-pounders. Meanwhile, we do have a smattering of engagements in the east as the Kratschutson claims his second kill to his name. Back in the centre, there we go, lockdown mode engaged with another one flanking. Just trying to catch these 6-pounders from the side.
My future predictions are indeed coming true. We have the light vehicle spam of doom coming out of the DAC here. We've got Armada, a Cara Armada, 2 Stugs, Kratschutson. Oh, we've got everything. Everything's coming up.
Truly the Nostradamus of Company Heroes casting there.
Oh, absolutely.
DAC and vehicle spam, who could have predicted?
If I may quote a Benny Hill sketch from the 1970s, nothing gets past my photo scanners. Oh no, I can see everything.
That was a very good Yorkshire accent for an Australian, wasn't it? So let's take stock of the army. So we've got IncaUna. He's got only four, by the way, infantry sections, 2 6-pounders. He's got a lot of fuel in the bag, a lot of munitions in the bag. He could go to, he's still waiting for his 4th command point there, so I think that's what he's thinking of. Maybe even 6. God damn it, that would be horrific. Orangepest, meanwhile, that's what we're talking about. We've got a fresh Stug D. We've got 2 Marders now. We've got the little Caro that could, the original Stugs, and the Kratschutson still alive. He's drawing in as well. He's starting to push in now, and this miniature Brit blob does not stand a chance, quite frankly.
This is his failing. I think K-Pen is correct. This is his failing. His failing was.
Oh, this could be a failing. Whoa. Yep, he could catch the Crusader now. One more shot should do it. Orangepest is a master at work. He's pushing and bullying the 6-pounders. Meanwhile, the Stugs have had a cracking job decimating these Brit squads.
Hide behind the mission-critical building. This is a perfect strategy. Oh, good lord! Oh man, this is unfair. I'm pretty sure there are rules on Twitch against this. This is
a TOS violation incoming. This cutoff's been neutralized for a while as well, so you'll notice IncaUna. I know he's been able to get it out though. The Churchill heavy tank, the Mark IV variant, straight from the Vauxhall factory on the outer edges of London. This thing has a lot of work to do.
You see, there's only one of them because the rest of the workforce are on strike. Well, it looks like that our rifle squads have actually picked up the boys' anti-tank rifle. They're no longer, if I may make an esoteric reference, they're no,
No, they
longer
haven't. There you
no,
go.
these ones. There you go.
It's this one.
It's
These are
from-
the shards that they don't even need to touch theirs. Just like in those abhorrent Star Wars films, it turns out that the Force isn't hereditary. Everybody has it. Especially,
Everybody has it, yeah.
Yeah, especially guys like this. Look at this. This is awesome. He's got
Absolutely.
two. I think this guy's got two. And he's dual-wielding Force Boys AT rifles. Like Count Dooku or something.
I mean, I was going to liken it again to use my cringe weeb cred to a little-known show called Izetta the Last Witch, about a witch who fights the Nazis by riding a boy's anti-tank rifle. Yes, that is a show. Yes, you can watch it.
If anybody's been disturbed by the amount of weebiness in this cast, there is a helpline you can call. Should be in the magazine. But let's get back to try and discuss who's going to win this game, because it's a bloody good one so far. We've got 22 minutes in. Orangepest has been a bit bloodied here with his Mega Blob. I'm sure he's thinking of going... not that we can see. I don't know if you can actually see. Yes, you can. There you go. He's got on the emergency repair kit, so his vehicles will start repairing automatically, I should hope.
Whoa. That is like, you know, what we're seeing here is the Gazala line in reverse. Just look at that. Just the Germans just dug in. Like, there's not much that... I mean, realistically, there's not much that IncaUna can do. I mean, he just doesn't have the... He doesn't have the oomph. I mean, he's got the Psychic Boys AT wielders, but apart from that, there's not much he can really do.
Oh, the Psychic Boys AT wielders were stuck on the Crusader there, and they are going to have to go back to base. They can't teleport. They've used all of their psychic powers to wield the AT guns. Meanwhile, we've got lockdown mode for this weakened Stug D. That could be dead because the 6-pounders are here. Grenades have been tossed in. 6-pounders can't set themselves up. Churchill goes in. It can penetrate the frontal armor. Will it finish the job here? Oh, no, it doesn't. And here come the Panzer Pioneers. They're going to try. Yes, they do indeed force away the 6-pounders and neutralize one of the crews.
That smoke barrier is saving that Churchill right now.
It's done a good job, hasn't it?
Not long.
Here come the Morders. And a 250 light carry just to create a distraction. Morders in peril because Big Jack Churchill's got his bagpipes out and he's... No, he's suffered two horrendous penetrations. Can he get round the side of the Morders? One's down now for sure, but so little health remains. He's down to 48 health. The Mortar could finish the job, but no, the Churchill reigns supreme. And then the little Carro that could takes him out from the rear. Meanwhile, boys take out the Carro. 250 down, Stugs are all that remain.
Holy shiitake mushrooms, our boy. The boys are right back in it, and he's pressing hard. He's going back on the counter. That is what we want to see. If they can take out that Vet 1 Stug, or both of them, that could be big.
It could be big. He needs to get around the rear side and get some side hits off. The boys get some hits as well. The Crusader smells blood. Inca wants to get a famous victory over Orangepest Dak here, but he's not able to do so. Meanwhile, the little Stug is pushing away the Crusader.
All the AT guns are back in play. The shots are coming in. Can he do it? Can he do it? That AT gun is in range. He just doesn't have sight. He can do it. He's pushing for... Oh, nah.
He's leaving himself exposed, though, and there's some activity on the flanks. Needs to be careful. There's squads coming in. He's not quite sure of himself to push further forward.
This is a great turnaround from Inca. An absolutely devastating turnaround. But we have to see. But, well, yep. Orangepest already... Look at how much fuel Orangepest has. That is
ridiculous.
Disgusting.
Well, it's just about... The manpower is the funnel, is Dak. If you can cut the secret weak spot is the infantry. If you can kill all the infantry, you can defeat Dak. But all the time, the vehicle army's growing, and they've got those side techs from the headquarters building. They're basically like a 7-headed Hydra in the late game, and they're so difficult to beat.
It's really tough. I mean... If he wanted to go maximum disrespect or uber troll, he could start getting a recovery vehicle out We haven't seen many of those, but he doesn't really need to. He can just build new ones.
Oh, that was a big hit there on the Crusader. Churchill's got to save the day. Again, Crusader has to stay active, but it suffers an horrendous hit again from the Churchill. Meanwhile, Caro comes in, claims the kill. That's another kill for the Caro there. Churchill's got some serious work to do.
He's out there fighting them on the beaches indeed, and it looks like he's going to do it too, but that Panzer Tactician is coming in clutch. It's beautiful. He's just keeping it alive. He's just dancing the edges. Dancing the edges. And we've got another Stug coming in. Vet 2. I mean, dude, the Stug life is the only way.
He needs to use his fuel here, Inca. He needs to take auto-reinforce off if he had it on, or stop reinforcing, because he needs another Churchill. He can't hope to just use one all game long and keep recruiting the AT guns, in my opinion.
I mean, as we all know, Britain only needed one Churchill, but... but, in all seriousness, yeah, he's going to need, like, he can't... He's either going to need to commit. He's going to need to commit to either AT guns and, like, really pushing back the center. I mean, he tried once, but it didn't work out so well. He needs to really commit.
What can one man do against such massive odds? Here we go. We've got the Stugs pushing in. Let's go back to IncaUna's perspective. He's got so much work to do. The 6-pounder's been found out again. Recruiting it. He's got 98 manpower. I think he had a vital opportunity to get another tank out, and I think he's lost it, quite frankly. I think the tide has turned.
This is going the way. I mean, thank God. I mean, look, honest to God, his only plan is historical at this point. He's going to need to dig in his base and wait for the DAC to run out of fuel, because at this point, it's GG by the looks of it.
Also, send in the Australians and the Indians and everybody that's not British. If we're going historical.
We are very good. I mean, we are very good at catching bullets. I mean, quite frankly, every time there has been a British operation that could go either way, you throw in the Colonials, because if it works, you get all the credit.
Ooh, look at this hit in from the Caro Amato. The M1340 comes in from the side flanks, gets a squad wipe, I believe. Oh no, it could be this guy that got back to base, but he himself suffers a big penetration there.
Not even the Psychic Boys AT wielders have helped. It's just, oh god, this is terrible. This is catastrophic. This is catastrophic.
Caro's down. Cratchitson in the north side, by the way, still capping up the map as this happens. That's Orangepest operating on full capability right now, and he's the wolf at the door.
Oh, it's disgusting. It's criminal. This is a terms of service violation. This shouldn't be allowed for public viewing. This is starting to get ugly.
It is. And as I say, I think IncaUna had one chance to be in this game, and it was to build another Churchill when he still had the chance. He's gone past 120 fuel ages ago. He had about 3 retreated squads, and looking back on it, that's when the game was lost well and truly. There were other moments, of course, but I think that was the big one.
Yeah, he just doesn't have enough out on the field that can really sort of do stuff against this. Like, he's chasing down that Martyr, but to what end? Because if we go over to Orangepest, we're going to see that he has something like 400 fuel. What did I say?
Yeah.
400 fuel. Like, he can kill as many vehicles as he wants, and he'll just bring in another one. So, it is GG, no
it's
re.
GG, definitely.
With
I mean, Alpern himself says it. Imagine teching and wasting 800 manpower on 2 AT guns. That's another part of his problem, of course. If he was kept on reinforcing these AT guns, he was never going to have enough to get another Churchill. And speaking of Churchills, he's got 0 at the moment, so that's definitely game. Yep, there you go.
He fought in the landing grounds, didn't go well for him.
Certainly
That is a firm GG there. Good lord, that was ugly. That got ugly fast. Like,
it was a good game during the mid stages, though. It's just so difficult to beat the DAC when they get rolling like that.
You can't stop. Like, if you let the DAC get that light vehicle horde going, there's very little you can do.
But I also don't get, I know this sounds preposterous, I don't get going only 4 infantry sections. For me, I think the way WHEY has been shown on Twin Beaches in particular as the UKF, you want at least 6. And I know that sounds horrible at the tournament organiser and casters saying that, but That's what I've seen the most very successful players do as Brits on this very map. So I don't know why you'd go for that and 2 AT guns. Just doesn't seem meta, basically.
I mean, realistically, I think the move was to do as the chat suggested. We needed 8 sets of psychic boys wielders out there doing business. Like
Are they
we
still
just
doing that?
Yeah, probably actually. I mean, we've got look at those Webblies, synchronized Webblies over there. Look at that, absolutely.
Oh
remarkable.
yeah, this is good stuff. Look at this guy. This is the Siamese twin project that the British created.
There with a tanker beret, no less.
All 2 stitched together. Now these
Absolutely.
boys, they have it proper. And
Let's see if we can find the.
Oh, these guys don't have rifles. Look at that.
Oh no!
There you go.
They're sticking out of the ground. They're sticking out of the ground. There they are.
Oh yeah, I see them. There they are. They're underneath
destroying
the ground.
They're destroying German tanks with the powers of their mind.
No, to be honest, this is what they do in the territorial army and in when I went did 1 week in the British Army, it's like a school thing. We had to have we just had to pretend to hold guns and just say bang, 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 bang. This is cutbacks in the MOD, basically. It's just huge cutbacks.
This guy does not need a weapon. He's got a mustache. That mustache is his weapon. Just look at that beautiful thing.
What is the line from Enemy at the Gates? When you drop the rifle, you will pick up your friend.
The one with the rifle shoots.
That's it.
Yeah.
The one with the rifle shoots.
God damn. It's truly incredible. And for those of you who are wondering before in chat, yes, there is one of those filthy Japanese cartoons.
Oh,
where
please,
a
nobody's
magical
wondering
girl-
that. Nobody's wondering
A magical girl rides.
Yeah, yeah. That's fascinating. Thank you for that.
He's trying to contain the spread, but I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. You
God.
guys, and we bug splat again.
That's
again.
just how it works. Nobody else can see that. But thanks for covering for Relic. But you know, have you seen The Last of Us? That really good series that was out this year.
I mean, I played the game.
Well, in the series, they do some cutbacks to like when the contagion was spreading. I think it's in Indonesia or one of those kind of countries. And there's this female scientist, and the government are asking, you know, what should we do? It's spreading in the main city, and she just goes, bomb everything. Well, that's how I see Australia right now. You know, just
well. Look, I'm just gonna have to say this: we dropped 2 bombs. And we got weebs. So what do you think is going to happen if you drop a third one?
That's so true.
What's going to happen?
No, don't talk about those bombs. But the British did actually use Australian islands to test nuclear bombs in the 50s. So
not just Australian islands; they use the mainland as well.
Good. That's a perfectly good use for Australia. It's part of the Commonwealth.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. But the only issue was the British government running the tests didn't tell the native Indigenous people that they were conducting them, which caused a couple of issues later. But that's a bit controversial for a gaming stream.
Yes, that's the dark side of this joke that has now ruined the humorous side. Oh no!
I feel obligated to mention that point because it gets left out.
That's a very good point, actually, and also when celebrities go up Tabletop Mountain and they're just like, "Woo, let's go." You know, let's go to the top and have some selfies or whatever. Meanwhile, you know, that's one of the most sacred sites in Australia.
Yeah, we can't. You can't get away from it these days, unfortunately.
No, neither should you. Let's divert from this subject and talk about this excellent best of 5 rather. It's still going because although Orangepest has now won 2 games, Inca still has a chance. Let's say. Still has a chance.
I'm quietly confident. I think we're going for the big. We're going to go for the big turnaround. I reckon we're going to absolute clutch. Absolute clutch.
Right then. So let's load up game 3. I'm going through these replays rather fast. Tightrope's sleeping at the moment, guys, and we need him for the best of 5 grand final later. So there may be a bit of a lapse, a bit of a break after this.
Been pretty brutal.
Of course, we're on road to Tunis next. No surprises there. Can't blame the players for not wanting to play on Bashino. Quite quietly wanted to see a little bit more. Let me do my thing. There we go. Settings, gameplay. Save, close. Orangepest. Ah, it's the blue player. Is that right? Yep, that's right. Okay then, dudes. I'm ready. Are you ready for the third game of today's activities? You got no choice. Let's go.
To scout the front line.
And here we go. We've got IncaUna this turn to play Deutsche Afrika Call this time, and he's on the perfect bloody map for it. It's Road to Tunis, a match made in heaven. Meanwhile, Orangepest doing a revolutionary new tactic of Pathfinder, 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 more Pathfinders. So that's going to be interesting. How are you?
Well, once again, with the Pathfinders. It's gonna be interesting. Ever since their nerf, you know, we've started seeing people move away, but
Wait,
nope.
Wasn't this terminated?
Actually, that's a good point. Has Orangepest already played Pathfinders? I think he has.
What the hell?
Oh no! Oh no!
No!
Could we see an administrative clutch? An administrative clutch!
Dear.
We have Pathfinders
Well,
awaiting orders.
if that means he definitely loses this game, by the way, because so
forfeits the match.
okay, let me
Oh,
speak to
no.
IncaUna because I know he's present. Hang on a sec, guys. We'll be right back.
Get your gear ready.
Do you know what's better than Pathfinders? Illicit, illegal Pathfinders. And in Game 3, we see some illicit, illegal, totally against Commander Terminator, Sarah Connor style Pathfinders. And Orangepest is definitely going to be rocking them. Apparently, IncaUna told him, what the hell are you doing, bro? Commander Terminator rules after this game. And they both agreed that it was okay. So, he'll get a warning, but not a disqualification. And that is thanks to IncaUna's sportsmanship. So well played to IncaUna. IncaUna, meanwhile, going as the DAC. He, of course, is playing Italian Combined Arms, having played the other one before this game. Which was the one he played in the other game?
He played the
Infantry, Italian infantry, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one with the 2 little light tanks. So we're now back in there. But yes, it does indeed seem that Orangepest requires these Panzerpyros close their boots and their non-existent motorcycle. Although, have we got a Kratschützen out?
Actually, of course we do. If you're going to see a Kratschützen pretty much in 99% of DAC games on Road to Tuners. It's such a perfect map for the scouting capabilities and the capping. Alpern, by the way, says there's actually been a disqualification now, and all the money from the third place is going to the grand finalists, which we'll be playing later today. I think that's only fair. Crazy Deviant, it is the same game as you're watching before. I just wanted to clarify with one of the players if they'd allowed it to continue and if they actually recognised it was a violation of the rules, and they did, so it's fine. He just gets a warning, basically. Pathfinders up against their arch nemesis, the the Panzer Pioneers here, get into the Casbah and continue the fun.
I mean, it's really interesting that the Pathfinder's DPS is still rather excellent, especially when you've got enough of them blobbing up and getting those M1 going. So, still perfectly viable, but as we know, they are illegal.
A lot of health remaining on this one guy that gets out of there with 38 HP remaining.
He's back from the last game. He's
Yeah,
back
indeed.
from the last game. He's alive. But we've now got mass Panzerpyros on the field. We've got Flamer already. So we're looking good.
Good timing on the Flamer as well. He was able to get it upgraded and get it into combat ASAP. Meanwhile, Pathfinders have been able to get to the cutoff. That's certainly going to help things.
First bout of Paras coming in as well. We've got shoots deploying right into the hot zone, no less.
The hot zone of his base.
Well, I mean, it is Tunisia everywhere.
Alright, M16 Gaming coming onto the field. Who can expect anything else? And we've got some great capping here from IncaUna.
A lot more aggressive map control play from IncaUna, and it's looking beautiful. But yep, we've got the vehicle coming out now, and again, 450 cals. What is better than Van? 4. It's looking excellent.
That's a lot of 50 cals. 200 calibers of action. Rain, death, and destruction. But he just casually nonchalants and then elects to retreat anyway. Meanwhile, the Kratschützen in the centre of the map there, capping up the victory points. A lot of VP pressure down. It's basically the same build order as Game 1, just a different map.
Yeah, and you can already see the change that change of map has brought about in the DAC player. Maybe along with some... Maybe this is a bit more comfortable. A bit more comfortable for IncaUna here because he's got the Bersaglieri he can bring on the field and get the pressure on. He's got enough people everywhere. He's got Panzerpyros, mainline infantry. He's got a Flamer up exactly as he got the Muni while in territory. It's all looking rather awesome right now. Especially because I don't think Orangepest has heals up yet, so that Flame is going to be a great returning member.
That's the signal. We're going in.
So,
Got another batch of paratroopers in.
Yeah, paratroopers with bazookas are one of the best best counters to DAC on any map, and coming down as we speak. Meanwhile, Bersaglieri pushed away by the M16 and the Panzer Pioneers as well. Meanwhile, we do have a resurgence from Orangepest getting back some really good control thanks to the pressure applied by this little thing here. Only 2 infantry kills, but an abundance of the pressure that you cannot see.
It's the mobility game that he's getting from that M16 right now. He's able to sort of get around the place, but that's all going to change once we get... There they are. Right on cue, as I was about to say it.
How do you pronounce these
powered
things?
right?
Because I had Vulcan saying Buska or Buxa or something. I was saying Busha.
Yeah, I would go with you on that one, Panzerbusche. Like, it sounds... I think it just sort of rolls off the tongue a bit better. I think it has a bit more...
Any Germans that can give us the correct pronunciation? Buxa. It's like Buxa. Is that closer? Got a lot of umlauts in chat. I don't know how to say an umlaut, okay? Okay, Buxa. Oh. We got it in the end.
Loser.
There we go.
Enemy
And the
movement
Cratchit's never going to get anything else ever again. Because it's very, very dead.
Well,
Paratrooper's going to rain terror, so the Andy, the 250's backing away. Got the M16 just marauding around the map, stopping all kinds of capping.
Yeah, he's using that mobility to great effect. He's zipping around, keeping those points under control. It's really good play. Got to be careful with those Panzer Pioneers. He's low on health. He's going to need to... Oh, there's the 8-Rad.
9 Wheels of Fury coming straight down the center of the map. And these Pathfinders are very, very brave. They're pretending they're pretending they're lighting the way for some anti-tank option, but they weren't. It was definitely a feint.
Definitely the world-renowned Pathfinder AT rifles. Absolutely. The nine-wheeled vehicle saying 9 to those Pathfinders, as it were.
Do you know, like, coming from Company Heroes 2 and the Pathfinder spam, that was absolutely rampant in 2022 in particular. Like, I don't know what Ivory's complaining about with CoH3. They should feel right at home.
Takes us back. It makes one feel almost nostalgic. You know what they really could have done for bonus points? If Relic really wanted to get bonus points, they should have added in a sandstorm mechanic on the Africa map.
Yes.
That would have pleased everyone. Everyone would have been
if you could play the Darude Sandstorm with the pings. Unfortunately, pings don't work in the observer mode, which is a problem.
Ah, yes. Darude Sandstorm. The soundtrack for 85% of YouTube videos circa 2007.
Until
I was there.
yeah. We were all there, unfortunately, as the Pathfinders are leading the way. They don't have AT, but they do have an M16, and it's coming in for the kill.
Good lord.
A fuel point is being seized.
Yep.
I won't say that's the worst edging I've seen on the internet, but damn close.
Bloody hell.
A fuel point is being lost.
This is a family app, ladies and gentlemen.
They've captured a victory point.
Right then. Burning down these paratroopers as we've got the sniper coming out for Orangepest. A bloody good map for it. He is somebody that, still on his Twitch bio today, if you go to twitch.tv/Orangepest, you can read in his description just how much he hates snipers. But he also likes winning tournament games, so who can blame him when he decides to elect to build one?
Really good micro from Orangepest for those paratroopers. They're always right where you need them to be. He's got that on lock, but amazingly, IncaUna is actually staging quite the excellent comeback.
It's been to and fro on the battlefield, hasn't it? I mean, IncaUna's managed to actually keep the victory points for a lot of this game, but with the Cratchitson being down, you should see his map controls ebb away a little bit.
At least until he can get the upgrade where his 8-Rads can capture point.
Of course.
He's got 2 out on the field now, it looks like.
Commander, we're losing territory.
I swear that was a fresh 8-Rad I saw just now.
Yeah, we'll check his composition, as we do indeed see 2 8-Rads. This is the new one, I believe. Oh no, this will be the new one, the one with less veterancy.
The M16 made a play down south thinking the 8-Rad was up north, but oh no, it's bad.
Oh, he's trading in for the bazookas. M16 down.
It's good. That is a firm 9. 9 is bigger than 4, as we know. And there you go.
Territory point
Absolutely
is no longer
devastating
under our
play. But hey,
Roger that. Smoke bombs are ready to be dropped when and
that
where
is a lot of
needed.
engineers.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, nice takeout there, and he does lose a few of his Panzerjägers at the same time. So the bazookas are able to pick something up, or maybe it was the AT gun over here, perhaps.
All I know is down south, he better get those NGs away. That's brutal. That is a lot of autocannon fire.
Yep, I think he was helped out by some natural fortifications there because the shots didn't really connect, or maybe he was just a bit lucky.
He's starting to get that manpower trickle back now that he's got the healing station up. He's got the medics running out being awesome.
And invincible.
Victory
Yeah,
point is under
that's the
enemy
other one.
control
It's
now.
gone are the days from CoH3 where you can walk home it up. Now we just have to settle for regular white phosphorus and
Regular
flamethrowers.
crime or regular war.
Yeah.
We can't combine the two, unfortunately.
We can't combine the two, sadly. No more shooting medics.
Right, he's advancing on this. Of course the Flame is going to win that. F your heavy cover and range and not moving. Use of the cooked frag grenades there, but it was easily dodged by IncaUna, who, by the way, says Orangepest as an opponent is the most fun he's had in Company of Heroes 3. So sometimes it shows that to make the dance great, you sometimes need a very good dance partner. And that's what these two players are offering each other at the moment.
That
A victory
was
point is under attack.
absolutely
We must act.
brilliant turn of phrase, I gotta admit. Because
Thanks.
after all,
You can't use
I
it.
find that
Even if you compliment me, you can't take my phrases. I've patented all of them, okay? Right.
absolutely 100%. So all those Pathfinders are in deep doo-doo now. That's a weapon, surely.
Surely. It should be. Let's check on this guy. How much health does he have? It's getting less and less all the time. He's got 5, he's got none.
Oh.
There you go. I have to click the portrait. I'll remember that for next time.
And drops the Panzer Tactician to screen from the AT gun and Zoogs.
We're losing.
Absolute disrespect.
It is a lot of disrespect being shown, indeed. Right, Pathfinders going to the southern victory point as the Panzerjägers hunt them down. Meanwhile, these Panzer Pioneers are just tanking damage, finally forced away. Just giving time for IncaUna to complete the capping operations and keep the victory point pressure on, because don't forget, he has 100 more than his opponents.
Yeah, he does. And, you know, Orangepest has to keep dive bombing units into that fuel point to keep the decap. And that stops him from moving around the field. So he's keeping him pinned in place, which is what you want to do. And you can't let the DAC pin you down, because that's the end. And we got the first Caro Armata. Look at him go.
Indeed. Little pizza tank, little M1340. A common sight in Company Heroes 3 battlefields. When we have 20 new battle groups for you know, and you can buy them in the skin store over the next few years, we'll look back on the Caro Armato Blight of 2023 with a certain amount of nostalgia, I'm sure.
Yeah, I can't wait for the inevitable Italian battle group with the P40 heavy tank, and they only made like 2 of as a super weapon that can turn the tide of battle. Or maybe even, God forbid, what I think might be the most fun is the Italian campaign really kicked off during the Battle of Kursk, and they were forced to redeploy a lot of their heavy assets to meet the Allied threat. The invasion of Sicily happened, and Italy was going to follow soon after, so they had to redeploy the panzer divisions from Kursk, which meant they sent all the elephant tank destroyers. The
Yes,
Ferdinand,
they did. Yeah, to Anzio,
to
didn't they?
Italy. Yeah, they sent them to Italy. The tank that suffered during the Battle of Kursk because its transmissions failed on a 5-degree
And it couldn't really handle elevation and inclines and, and overheating as well. It was the Italian summer. It was a masterstroke. I really do hope we get Ferdinand's back in the game. We've got Hellcats. This Orangepest build order is identical to Game 1 too. Near enough to the unit and timing. Hellcat's now on the field 16 minutes in. Will he be able to flank and shank IncaUna?
Holy, what the hell?
Yep.
Territory lost.
Oh, we've got some decent capping from Inca whilst this is going on. The Marauders have to just carry so hard on Road to Tunis. You can see the 2 channels that they'll fight in. There's this channel here, which has this flag right in the middle of it, and then there's this channel here.
I'll try to rejoin. 1 sec.
Oh, you can't see.
Our opponent has all victory points under their control. Act now.
I am still streaming my desktop to you, so you should be able to see. Oh yeah, as I was saying, that the Marauders tend to like stem from here. That's exactly where they go, and they poke in this channel and this channel. So the flanking routes really are kind of down here, and you don't really want to go through there because that's just too tough. You're going to have to come all the way around the sides. So to break Dak down, you have to take really wide angles on Rototunas, and it's difficult, or just go straight through the centre.
Oh, am I back?
Ah, you've been here all the time, my friend.
You have 3 command points
Oh,
available.
Caro going down. Down for good measure, bazookaed and Hellcatted.
Well, it seems that the Discord, in Australia seems to have been quite bad, but it looks like I'm back now. There we go. Stream's back. Hello, everybody. We're back.
Enemy infantry.
I do believe.
Yeah, you are indeed back. Is there any anime that this outage reminds you of?
Serial Experiments Lane.
Oh
Funnily
no,
enough.
God. I wish I hadn't asked. There we go.
Yeah, that's a bit of a niche '90s reference for anyone.
Everything's niche. Everything's niche.
Everything's niche.
I've kept this stream anti-anime since 2012-11 era, and it's all come, crumbling down in a fell swoop today, and I think it's long overdue. Thank you for this.
Honest to God, I think the ram touched the wall the moment Helping Hands joined the competitive scene. So I think it was too late. It was just a matter of time at that point. It was gonna end.
Let's have a look what upgrades we've built this game. He's got the resources for. He's got none of the upgrades from mechanized so far, from what I can see. Meanwhile, IncaUna, we have to go to base and click it manually. There we go. So he's got vehicle survival package. He's got tungsten, and of course he can't get armory level 2 yet because he needs the third tier of the DAC to get it.
Yeah, that light vehicle horde is really starting to sort of take its toll. Like, even with the Hellcat on the field and the Zooks, those 8 rads are still doing masterful work. He's gonna have to be careful though.
Certainly is. Let's see whose composition we like more, chat. We've got 2 bazookas, 3 pathfinders, 2 AT guns, 2 rifles, and an engineer for Orangepest. Meanwhile, Inca has got a decent infantry composition for Dak. He's got as many infantry as he has vehicles if you take the ambulance into account.
I think it's a really balanced build from IncaUna, and I think what Orangepest has done, quite sensibly, mind you, is he's taken extra steps against the horde of oncoming DAC vehicles he's expecting. But I think IncaUna might shape it up. He might shape it and indeed shake it up. And once he gets those machine gun upgrades for his Berserklieri, he's gonna start blobbing and overwhelming those defenses. Because I don't see any machine guns from Orangepest, and that's gonna really bite him when you get a combined armored infantry push going on. Plus, those Caros are really cheap and nimble, so they can get around the flanks really easily. So that Hellcat better watch out. He's going to meet a sticky end if he's not careful.
Indeed he is. And he's currently not being very careful. In fact, he's pushing deep into enemy lines. Meanwhile, there's a possible flank emerging. We've got the Caro and 2 8-rads with Berserklieri pushing the way. Meanwhile, oh, there they are. The M1s are in an unexpected position, very far forward. That's going to stop Inca in his tracks.
The M1s moving in coordination with the M1 armed riflemen in their M1 helmets, rolling in on the flanks now.
With the M18 as well, taking the brunt of the power. 8-rads get some shots in. And they're finished off thanks to the Marders.
Good lord, double Marder clutch play. Absolutely murdered. Murdered that boy.
Look at the repair speeds here. 2 Panzer Pioneers with the Panzer Jaegers. Airborne are going to get eviscerated. They're in a bad part of town.
The one issue I have with the Paras is a similar issue they had in Company Heroes 2, which is once you put bazookas on them, they really don't have enough smash. They just don't have the anti-imp. You're basically committing them to being an AT gun that walks. You know what I mean? So, like, anything remotely anti-inf is just going to mulch them.
I
we're
think
starting to
Inca's
see-
thinking of a big push here. We have got capping units down the side here. He could go for if he's feeling conservative, but he could have pushed in then. Well, that would have been bad. The M1s were waiting. He could still...
Yep.
No, he's outside the range. Ooh, the mines.
he's-
Don't forget about those mines.
He's cutting off. He's getting in the cutoff, and he's going to kill this infantry on retreat. Orangepest, get out of there, buddy. Get out.
He's clicked the button. All he can do is pray now. M1's catch up with one of the 8 rads, pushing it down to 180 health.
We have a Hellcat reporting for duty.
There we go. Pathfinder's cousin Bob makes it back to base. Last man standing, and another Hellcat.
Another 65 pop cap. IncaUna, meanwhile, is 87. And now his army's really starting to show signs of Dakism. Look how many vehicles he's got. He's got, is that 3 Carros in total, 2 Marders, 2 8 rads, and an ambulance.
I mean, we all know that the ambulance is the true MVP of this game. He is clutching up.
Exactly.
Lost control of a sector.
Those 2
Like,
drivers are doing a
him-
lot of work.
Without him, like,
Reports of enemy movement
the army
near our
just doesn't
victory point.
function. Like, it's just a fact of life. I mean, it's a myth, the fact that most of his army's vehicles, so... you know.
True. Oh, that was a big shot by the
Ooh.
Carro, bloody hell. Lucky Vet 2 Pathfinder escaped there. Berserkly Airy throw the grenade, and it hits. Showing
Ooh.
Orangepest is intact map at that point in time, at least.
Good grief, that manpower bleed is going to start getting awful for the Americans. Because when in my 1v1 auto match experience, limited though it is to about 40 to 50 games, it's just that you find that your manpower at this stage of the game as the US just is down to like 201 or something ridiculous, and you can't keep up with these losses. You just can't. Something's got to give. as the
Hellcat
song
forced
goes.
away there, despite the Marders not being present. They are now, so he was giving him a little bit too much respect there, I feel. Rifleman forced away. Victory point situation is massively in IncaUna's favour, and so is the evisceration of these AT guns.
Oh, that's curtains for this M18. Even those 8 rads can kill that thing if they roll in with the Carros. That's brutal. That's absolute. There are the martyrs.
Here they come.
Just keep fighting.
It's not looking good for our heroes, folks.
Sealing our munitions point.
It really isn't. He's burning him to a crisp at the moment. M18's being brutalised as well. Marders just raining supreme hellfire and death upon him. Meanwhile, we've got capping on the flanks. It's all looking bad for Orangepest's USF here.
It's an absolute nightmare for Gears of War players because all the chest-high walls have been taken out by Dax vehicles. If you look around the map, they run over them all. There's just no cover for the infantry blobs from Orangepest now, and he's really in trouble. Like, I think it's curtains.
Oh yeah,
I think
it's game. It's
yeah.
absolutely game. Looks like IncaUna's got a comeback victory against the battle group Defiler. The one that went 2 battle groups in a Commander Terminator format. Same one
My
again.
God. I mean, this is just a well-deserved comeback from IncaUna, and not only that, I mean, he could win on the technical foul, but he just decides to win anyway. That is the mark of a classy player, like 100%. He could have cried foul, but no, he played the game out and still won, and that's just style points. So big props to IncaUna for that one. Massive props.
GG, well
And
played.
GG.
There we go. Oh, you just missed him opening up a cold beer and the noise of it. So good on you, Animarchy. And yeah, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break myself whilst Animarchy drinks a beer. Do I dare leave an open mic and Animarchy and chat together?
I don't know, but it's a risk you're gonna have to take. As the old saying on Balls of Steel goes, there's only one way to find out, Mark.
Oh,
gotta-
okay. If I'm not here, if the stream goes down, you know what's happened. All right then, guys, I'll be back in a moment. It's currently 2-1 to Orangepest. We will be heading into Game 4 after I've had a 5-minute break. Leave you with Animarchy.
Yeah. So I am now alone with chat. It is indeed a cold one with the boys, as they say. Yes, the foul was that the Terminator rules were broken. Orangepest used the same commander twice. That is a no bueno. That is a no bueno. So even though he was disqualified from that match, they played it out. And IncaUna came back with a really good comeback. Really good comeback. So yeah. Honest feedback from the crowd. I want to know how I'm doing. This is my first time casting, so I want to know what you guys think. I'm trying to learn this game. I really do enjoy doing it. But I feel like I need to improve. So feedback is always good on that. I got to admit the Gusta, like I saw early on back in the beta days. The Gusta was absolutely awesome because, double flamers, absolute Chad mode, but they've been nerfed to hell. And yes, I am from Radelaide, my guy. I am a Radelaide boy. Okay, so Australian slang. So let's talk about Aussie slang for a bit. So Aussie slang. I'm going to say a sentence for you. I want to get a packet of darts. And some tinnies from the servo. So I've got to head down the end of the street and chuck a Yui, and I'll be there. Aussies will understand that sentence. No one else will. Well, I can talk about any number of weeb stuff. Morty! Gotta get the cube! Go buy some food for the drive! Gotta get a paddle pop, Morty! Yeah. I think it's culture. For that one. I gotta do the voice for the chat because having actually been to Bendigo, there is no green cube. There's a really nice fountain in the center of town, and opposite the fountain, there is an absolutely amazing Indian restaurant there in Bendigo. Can recommend. Also, it's right next to Cashies. Right next to Cash Converters, which is a Australian pawn shop chain, which is absolutely amazing. Absolutely classic stuff. Nani? Yeah. Oh wait, you mean the full thing, like omae wa shinderu. There you go. I knew we'd find some Dank Pods. Dank Pods actually lives a couple of blocks from me, I think. He lives a couple of blocks from me, I think. Either that or he's down south. I actually live near Dank Pods, so you actually see my local bar in one of his videos. So there it is. The caster in chief has returned, and there was only a minimal amount of anime.
Oh,
and it was at chat's request. I
knew that would happen. No, I honestly did know that would happen.
They asked for Fist of the North Star, which is an absolute classic 80s manga, adapted into the hit anime series.
Some of it's alright. I like some of the Studio Ghibli films, but that's as far as I'll go. That's like... And I know that's just looking at the ocean. That's not even dipping your toe in the water. That's like...
I'm going to say what I say for everyone on this. I'm going to say anything. On Netflix, there is a show called Violet Evergarden. You watch that, it will change your perspective on anime entirely. I'm not even memeing or anything.
British comedy, can't we talk about that? Like, black people should be educated on stuff like Blackadder and that kind of thing. Why do we care what the Japanese are doing? The British have done so many more cool things. Taskmaster, yeah, something like that, exactly. Australian TV, surely you guys have made something.
Yes. I'll put it out in the chat.
Did you guys? Were you the Mighty Concords? Was that the Kiwis?
That was the Kiwis. We can't take that off the Kiwis. It's
Yeah, no,
they've
you've done pretty much nothing actually. What about
no,
that guy that made the joke about the boat falling apart or something?
Clark and Dorr. I think they're both
Yes.
dead now.
Oh, they're dead.
but
Okay.
They made a really great comedy. They made a really great comedy series when Australia was hosting the Olympics called The Games, which was a really good show.
What about that creepy film where the guy's been the interview is the guy's been interrogated and he ends up being the high elf of Rivendell eventually, but he's been interviewed for murder in the outback. Have you seen that film?
Never heard of it.
Oh,
Never heard of that one. Is Grave of the Fireflies classed as anime? Yes, it is. Hayao Miyazaki's
There you go,
breakout
guys.
hit.
That's a really good Australian film. That's their only contribution to culture, basically.
No. If I was gonna say before you went on a massive tangent about an Australian film I've never heard of. So there is that. No, I'll say it for my Aussie and English fans in the chat. Have you ever felt like this? If you know the next line, you know what I'm talking about, because that is an Australian television icon. Round the twist. Thank you. There we go.
No
Someone
idea
got
what
it.
you guys are on about.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. See, chat knows. Chat knows.
As long as they know, I'm glad someone does.
Russell Crowe's a Kiwi, I think, as well. As is Sam Neill. They're all Kiwis. We just steal them because Kiwis are nicer than us.
Yeah,
honestly, the
that's true.
Kiwis are so much better.
They
Like,
are true.
get
Their
involved.
politicians are nicer, aren't they? Have you noticed? They're much nicer. Just nicer people.
I missed Jacinta. She was fun. Now we got some boring bloke next door. I don't know who he is.
1, 2.
If Kerry Packer is the only Aussie you respect, you're forgetting Steve Irwin. Yeah, thank you, Chad. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. Yes, they did have one good one, the Australians. I remember, but he got killed by a manta ray, sadly.
Stingray, not a manta ray. Manta rays don't have stingers.
True. Actually, this is a common misconception. It was a manta ray posing as a stingray. It was a sting operation, you see.
Steve Irwin's death was an inside job. That's a new one. Never heard that one before.
It was an inside job, I'm telling you. Honestly. It was.
Oh.
Oh, God, I'm getting booed off the stage. Don't boo me off. I've still got some games to cast. Come on, please.
Oh my God, Africa refused. He's going to sleep with a fish.
Oh, dear. IncaUna is player left. Orangepest player right. It's 1. It's 2. I need my replay commands. Engaged. There we go. Oh, that means I'm ready to go, I think. That means I'm ready to go. That means you're ready to go. Let's do it. Hello there and welcome. And I just spotted this in chat, by the way. G4, and I just realised CT is on. Pay me $10 in compensation for that long game. There you go. So they did talk about it, and we just saw the conversation. It was very limited. It doesn't seem that IncaUna actually cared very much. It's almost as though the nerdy constructs and the rules we create, the players don't care. And to be honest, what's the point anymore? I just don't know what the point is.
There you go. Brain the size of a planet. And what do? Organize competitive Company of Heroes tournaments.
Yeah. I've got a head the size of a planet. It doesn't mean my brain correlates. But what is interesting in this game is Orangepest has gone for Wehrmacht all of a sudden. It's almost like he's used the Dark Commander he wanted, and now he's gone for Wehrmacht. And let's see what he's going to do with that. Does he have something in store? He does indeed have Luftwaffe chosen. He's got Fallschirm Pioneers as an option, but he's not elected for them yet. At the moment, he's just gone for Grenadiers.
An infantry
It would be
section
much
of
more
Tommies
interesting
being
to have
trained.
Orangepest as the blue player, I'm sensing. Shall we swap them? It's you cover for me there, strange Australian man. He's gone. Just when I needed him to cover for me. He's back. There we go. You're meant to be covering for me. I'm trying to change all the scores around because I want to cast as the Wehrmacht player, and it's a tense operation. I think I've done it. There we go. Right. We'll cast from Orangepest
As someone who
perspective.
used to work for Australia's biggest telco, can I just say that NBN was a great idea. It was a fantastic idea. Australian internet is the greatest in the world. I can't believe my government would make such good decisions. Yeah,
There's
look,
probably one
guys.
cable under the water going to your country, most likely. This is a very long sandbag by Orangepest there. Grenadiers showing their Ostrupeniness. Putting sandbags and barbed wire down. That is impressive.
It's not the length of your sandbags, it's how you use them, as they say. Because we've seen people get away with some pretty interesting sandbag play so far in Company Heroes 3. Like, it's been a really big thing how they've just sort of like made it micro-focus with those things. Because you have to make it long enough for your troops to get cover, but not too long, because otherwise it just clutters up the map and makes movement awkward.
Yes,
But-
indeed.
An MG42 team is
So
ready.
there's a
got
lot
ourselves
to the
a-
sandbag usage in Company Heroes. You're right. There's a lot. You could probably write a guide on it in total. But regardless, here we go. We've got Orangepest going for an MG42, which, to be honest, Doc, seen as a very squishy support weapon and often not worth the squeeze for the juice you can get out of them. So let's see how he does with his in this game.
I mean, really, you kind of want to... I've started using them basically, I've started using them against the Brits just to control the sheer volume of infantry sections that are going to descend upon me if I don't. But you're right, they have very little payoff in terms of actually doing damage. They don't have the same scything down your infantry units as they flee for their lives like you get in Company Heroes 2.
And
So
one,
I think they need a bit of a buff. One thing I do miss is the Company of Heroes 1 sound of the MG42.
Oh,
You know, that
yeah.
grrr, I miss it so much. I want it back, but they went for a more realistic sound with Company Heroes 3.
Oh,
and,
I just want them to put the sounds back. Change the sounds, Relic. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
we've got the little Kettengrad planting a shoe mine. Which will certainly blow your shoes off if it gets the chance. We all know
so
what
you
that
might see
means.
it, a wooden box. you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
That's the one thing of like that's the thing I was gonna say. Like, you want to make your game realistic. You want to make your game realistic, Relic, and with all these realistic sounds. And then you have people shoulder firing AT rifles and shoe mines able to be cleared by metal detectors. So, you know, you gotta make up your mind. I think we need the sounds back. I agree with AX. We need the Hollywood effects.
Certainly do.
Victory
Alright,
point
the
lost.
Grenadiers behind heavy cover, but they're being... That's it, surrounded, so he gets out of there. Good choice by Orangepest. He decided to run away at the right moment, which is a sign of a good player, in my opinion. I do get hyped for these small differences.
We are
Look at
losing
the sand on the
control.
wheels of the Kettenkrad. Nice little effect there.
I do like the clackety noise, especially its sort of sound. You can almost hear the interleaved road wheels, along with the tears of the mechanics. But that's still very much out there.
Certainly is. Also, this infantry section's out there, taking away Orangepest's cut-off at the moment. MG has so much work to do.
Territory
It's
sector
got a
lost.
wide open map and an increasing amount of infantry. Well, it's 4. He went for 4 in game 2, didn't he? IncaUna. Here he is again as the Brits. Let's see if he goes to the exact same build order. Those 2 6-pounders. I'll tell you one thing, he's up against one of his most hated opponents. It is indeed the sniper.
That is it. The sniper is going to be the real star of the show here. He is cloaked. His rifle is not, but the rifle is all you need. And I really think that the problem he's got is, and the problem that the Mark has in general, is just the Allies are able to get so much map control early game on the Mark in the current build. that it's going to be, he's going to have to capitalize. We got to, oh boy.
Yeah, very powerful garrison, by the way, because they're on the roof, meaning they get the height bonuses. We're led to believe in the community. That's the current feeling of how it's working.
Garrisons in general have been pretty powerful in CoH3, much more powerful than they were in 2 and 1. So I think that that's going to be... I do like that change, but also the breach mechanic that comes with it is really good too.
Can I just draw everybody's attention to the power of the sniper? This grenadier should be dead, but for one moment IncaUna thought he could shoot at the sniper, so he changed target prioritization, meaning this grenadier has survived. The sniper is powerful even when he's not shooting. Just the psychological effects of his look at him sidestepping. He's a Chad. But just the psychological effects of him being on the battlefield changes the whole demeanor of IncaUna, and he makes bad decisions. It makes you make bad decisions at times.
Absolutely. He almost does. It's not just his in-game ability. He almost does actually have a Romulan cloaking device, because you never know if he's there. He could be there, he could not be there. The presence, the sniper is the boogeyman of the battlefield, and it's going to really affect how the infantry play goes forward. But we've got the first Shrek out now. Essential move.
Yep, nice green camouflage. They're pretending to be a shrubbery in the middle of the desert, a juniper berry bush, perhaps.
Territory captured.
I don't know. Does it come with a herring or not? Or is that only the Viking division gets that? Only SS gets the herring.
Oh, juicy
Whoa!
mine there, setting off the pyrotechnics. It looks worse than it was, but it still looked and was pretty bad.
Mass retreat too. The field is entirely belonging to Orangepest now. He can just go do what he wants.
Yeah. To be honest, IncaUna is probably doing the right thing there, and I'll explain why. It's probably better to push as one in multiple directions in the right way and get it right than just to try and keep a push alive that is failing. It's better to regroup, basically, sometimes, but we'll have to wait and see just how much he's going to lose as a result of that failed push.
I don't think it would be an exaggeration of me to say that 90% of Company of Heroes games are lost or won by someone overcommitting. And that's a good point. Like,
Yeah.
especially in the early phases.
Boys, I've decided to change your tactics. You're to get out of the trench and walk directly towards the German lines. It's a remarkable change in approach there from Inca. He decided to leave base and walk directly at the Germans. Again.
Well, you see, the plan that we've used 27 times before is exactly the last thing the Germans will expect us to do this time.
This weapon. Keep fighting.
In fact, our battle plan is to continue with mass slaughter until everyone is dead except Lord Haig, Lady Haig, and their pet horse, Alan. Which is what we're currently doing right now. And that, oh, that sniper!
Yeah,
Oh.
we're up to 7 infantry kills now. It's going very well for the sharpshooters.
capture points is under attack.
He's diving the sniper too. He's bringing that boy squad all the way back there. That is a dangerous play. He could lose it here.
Yeah, good call, Animark. He certainly was. Meanwhile, we've got the recce section. I bet they wish they were in that position. They might have polished the bugger off.
Kettengrad reconnaissance.
Oh, Kettengrad taken out.
Oh,
Went straight into the boys. You don't want to do that.
rip a real one. The interleaved road wheels did not save him.
Of course, interleaved road wheels. Great when you've got a very heavy tank. Not so great when you're trying to make a small sidecar / bike reconnaissance vehicle.
I mean, I appreciate what the engineers were trying to go for, but I just can't imagine the level of sadism German engineers have for their field engineering and maintenance crews. It's just
Well, it's
not
never
so-
been done since, has it? So clearly it wasn't the best thing to do.
I mean, it gets great ground pressure, great maneuverability and mobility across rough ground, but the moment you have something like, I don't know, mud, no, things that...
There's a lot of things tried during the Second World War, like the dual drive engines and stuff like that. Some of it.
I'm convinced that Porsche in his Porsche Tiger design was basically trying to invent Lamborghini before Lamborghini existed.
I think Porsche was a genius, by the way. I don't want to go into it too much, but by all accounts, he had some great ideas. Just wasn't the best idea for that particular point in time. Royal Engineers forcing Jaegers away, reconnaissance, infantry sections en masse. Gonna make this Grenadier's life very difficult in the near future.
The Flammenwerfers with which one werfs Flammen are not to be trifled with in Company Heroes 3, and they just do so much damage. And this, yeah, this Gren's Audi 5000. He's just gone. Ooh.
Mein Assen ist Flammen.
Flammenwerfer is werfing its Flammen all over me.
Oh no. Yeah.
That's a double entendre. I've never heard one.
Is it a double entendre? Are you sure? Maybe it's just entendre.
Just maybe entendre. Just an entendre to surpass Middle Gear, if you will.
Oh,
That's nice.
Boys AT just collided with that sniper there, hurting him significantly. We do have the MG, which, by the way, has gotten only 2 infantry kills this game, despite having a lot of action. Just speaking to the low lethality of MGs in this game in general, really.
They need to buff the DPS on those machine guns. It really is like buff suppression and DPS, because it's just these blobs on everybody's account, whether it be Brits, whether it be
Sure,
DAC,
the suppression's a problem, I must admit. I think the suppression's alright. I think the MGs are too squishy. I mean, watch this. They just tend to get, like, absolutely mullered.
Yeah, both machine guns and AT guns are dying way too quickly.
That's
for
the
the
one,
things
yeah, I think
they're
that's-
supposed to be countering.
It's probably closer to the truth. I mean, I don't want them to be buffed massively. Just a
I agree with you, chat. I think that the sniper is the equivalent, or the Company of Heroes equivalent of the Chad emote, especially when he can face tank the 14.5mm round. Like, just absolutely tanked it. Shrugged it off.
Yeah,
Manpath
another good point there. Cop top, it probably does wear off too quickly. It's not that it doesn't work. The suppression certainly acts very quickly, but if you're up against multiple squads, that's when it starts to become a problem. Meanwhile, let's talk about IncaUna's teching, see what he's up to. Of course, just got infantry training at the moment, and he's fine with what he's gone as the Indian artillery at this point in time. He does have the company command post up, but he's waiting for the fuel. Let's see where he goes from there. Orangepest, meanwhile, he's only gotten the headquarters building. Well, no, he hasn't actually. He's got the Panzer Company. There we go. It's because I can't fully select his tech tree in the replay mode. But he's got the Panzer Company out, and he's got 60 fuel. And of course, he's probably going to be waiting until he gets 100 to get the Panzer IV.
The Panzer IV is the play here, definitely. He needs something. He needs something big and strong on the field to start laying down the hate on these infantry squads. He's done reasonably well to keep his stuff alive. He's also got the manpower bonus from the Luftwaffe Commander, which is absolutely vital. So, what I'm amazed by is just how much map control he's managed to keep. Because the Brits have been all over the place, yet he's got someone there at all times to make sure he doesn't fall behind, which is so easy to do as the Wehrmacht. If you let the enemy get away from you, they'll just run away with the game. So he's doing remarkably well.
These Jaegers aren't remarkably good in infantry combat, unless they're teamed with something a little bit more killy, like a Fallschirmjäger perhaps. We have the Luftwaffe Company constructing a Flak 30 anti-aircraft gun team, which could be interesting.
Those are actually
yeah, go on.
amazing. I find them very useful. I usually build one if I can, but won't stand up against this Crusader though.
No, this little flags there, forcing this Grenadier away. Meanwhile, Jaeger's being forced away again, and the Sniper, who, by the way, is now up to 17 kills. Not too shabby.
Sniper's just flexing at this point. He's just going out and flexing on the paws, because he has a scope on his rifle and everyone else doesn't.
Yeah, he gets a Faust off, but I'm not so sure it's even worth the cost, actually, if you're not going to follow up with anything.
Nah, it's not really. I mean, if he was going to make that play, he would need the Jaegers with the Shreks alongside, but...
And they're very situational, Panzerfaust. You want exactly some follow-up every time. There's no point, really, Fausting and running unless it's a light vehicle or a tank that's already heavily damaged, because you're not going to get an engine critical on it. So what's the point? 35 munitions at the end of the day.
That's a lot of money to be spending when you're under the pump this much.
Certainly is. Here's that Flak 30.
He's got to get set up. He's going to get set up. Oh, there we go.
Some good pins down. Got the sniper continuing to fire. The Brits are going into a hard frontier. However, the Brits currently have a triple cap on the VPs.
Yep, it's really going to come down to how quickly people can get organized and get those vehicles rolling. But that ambush, that L-shaped ambush from the Grens, absolutely brutal.
We are losing control of a sector.
Yep, there we go. Successful defense for Orangepest Wehrmacht here on Road to Tunis. We're 16 minutes and 40 seconds into this game. He's just got to get the victory points back and then allow the Panzer IV to do its thing.
He's going to have enough fuel up for the armor skirts shortly, which I think is what he's going to do, almost certainly. Once he gets that out, he's going to start rolling in. He's going to start rolling in and using that thing to start clearing out these infantry blobs. The AoE on the Panzer IV is just money. Absolute money. And that's what he's going to be counting on to carry him into the late game.
Yeah, it's a true generalist tank of Company Heroes 3.
I mean, the locals didn't need that truck to carry anything anyway, so...
What locals? They're not there anymore.
That's
MG's been flanked here. That's finally got to 5 infantry kills, but it's going to survive for the time being, and that could prove vital. Flak 30 getting into the centre, really giving Orangepest a really strong base at the moment. He's got the left and the right legs of his suppressive base.
Commandant, you have command points available.
One thing I've noticed about Company Heroes 3 is that the cover in Company Heroes 3 is really good at being, like, you know, shot blockers and terrain, like the different terrain engine they've used, or I think it's a different sort of terrain structure they've used to model, like, height and such, has really changed up the game. Like, those walls, sandbags, rocks, it's just stopping a lot of the damage that's being
well, they want it to work as it did in previous games, but they've, as I say, they've had to recode it using the Age of Empires 4 engine. You know, it's probably the best way to describe it. It's the Age of Empires 4 engine. It's the engine built for Age of Empires 4. It's why this game's playing so differently, but also so familiarly. And it's the biggest success Relic have had, is actually creating a Company Heroes game in a new engine. There's been many weaknesses, but there have been some successes, the optimization being one of them. Panzer IV in here, we do have, is it Fallschirmjägers dropping perhaps? What is he thinking?
Well, I'm looking over. That looked like a recon flight there, unless Fallschirmjägers are deploying from a
Yeah, it was indeed reconnaissance run for 35 munitions. We do have the Matilda II heavy tank Queen of the Desert on the field. So what's Orangepest going to do with his anti-tank? Does he have enough munitions soon for a third Panzerschreck, perhaps?
Maybe, I think that might be the go, but I'm not sure if the Matilda was the right investment. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm thinking maybe... I think maybe another Crusader might have been the better move. Even with the Panzer IV on, if you can get the 6-pound gun on those Crusaders, a group of them can really do some damage. So I'm wondering, he might have been thinking, I want the Matilda for that extra oomph against the infantry, but I don't know. We'll see if it pays off for him. Ooh.
Well, back in the South, Panzer IV versus the Matilda. We've got the Gurkhas watching on.
Victory point lost.
Grenades being tossed over here. I heard that grenade dodge. I wish I could hear them that well when I'm playing the game. That's for certain.
Yeah, it takes all my effort to keep up with the pace of 1v1s in CoH3. It's very quick. It's very. You have to just keep clicking.
Yeah, you just have to hope your opponent gets tired, more tired at a rate faster than the rate that you're getting tired, if that makes any sense. And that's the way to true victory in Company Heroes 1v1. This level of play, they have so much go in them, so much energy, they can keep playing like this for a very long time.
I find that a lot of games come down to a case of will. Until the snowball really gets started. You can have I've had games where, you know, you'll inflict one serious defeat on the opposing player and he'll quit the game. Like, even though he's not in that bad of a position. So sometimes it can be just mind game. But not at this level. No. This is all money. This is all money that we're looking at here.
You say that. A lot of these players would play for pride and prestige, just not as well. Meanwhile, we've got Orangepest. He's now got 84 fuel, 300 manpower. He's 84 pop cap. He's got a decent army composition, and he now has his 3rd Panzerschreck as well. Perhaps he doesn't quite have enough oomph to go up against the Matilda 2 and its compatriots. We've got the Crusader that's still rocking around. But I have to say, I do prefer Orangepest's army composition overall for this particular map. Ah, that's certainly going to help things for Orangepest as well now. He's now getting the pack 40, so he's going to get both of these support weapons for the Ver. That certainly will give him a better composition than Inca, I believe.
I was kind of expecting him to bring another Panzer IV. I mean, it's what I'd do, but I'm not as good as they are. So maybe they're thinking big brain plays. I mean, they might be wanting to just strong point. They might be wanting to just strong point the VPs they can grab and hold with those emplacements. But again, it's probably the Matilda. He's seen that big heavy armor threat,
yeah,
and he just needs something a bit more chunky to get through that armor.
Well, it's just not efficient when you're up against such good opposition as Inca to try and blob your way to victory with Jaegers. I mean, it can work, but not on a map as open as this. They'll see you coming a mile away, they'll backpedal, and they'll chew you up. So that's when the long-range support weapons come into play, and that's why the Pak 40 could end up being clutch on this particular map.
I think the sight lines of the AT guns is what's really going to bring it home here, is that they've just got so much space and angle to work with, especially in the main straight. Oh, we got a call in here. What do we got?
We have the ability from Coming Heroes 2, if you remember.
Ah, yes. Ah, yes. So much fun. Kaboom.
Right then.
Nice to see the 25-pounder still doing its thing.
Yeah, the one in
Stayed
base,
in
I
service.
presume. There it is.
Stayed in service with the British Army for years and years.
A lot of them did, didn't they? As the late colonial kind of weapons just keep chonking away. Meanwhile, Crusaders in massive trouble here, as are the Gurkhas.
Oh, this is a terrible overextension. This is terrible. Absolutely, he is very lucky those Gurkhas got away with that.
They may not yet. The Panzer IV is feeling risky. Will he risk it for a biscuit, perhaps? No, he won't. Okay. Well, the Matilda would have gotten there. It's very slow. It's got no engine noise, by the way. Just is what it is. Silent Queen of the Desert.
The Silent Queen of the Desert, as different from Australia's Priscilla Queen of the Desert. Although the cast armor is very much the same, I'm sure. Small joke. In all seriousness, like, talking about the lifespan of British weapon systems, my father joined the army, the Australian Army, in 1973 after moving over from the Great Homeland, and he qualified in 1973. He qualified on the Bren light machine gun. So.
Oh yeah, a lot of weapons from that era are still in use, aren't they? Of course, all variations of them, the M3 and all that good stuff. And unfortunately, in Eastern Europe right now, a lot of these weapon systems are still going. So yeah, there's only so many ways you can put gunpowder behind a sharp, shooty thing and shoot it. Here we go. We've got rifle nade dodge there, quite well by the Jaeger squad the hard way. Got MG. It's a second MG he's built now, so his suppressive platform is huge. He's really looking to hard counter the British infantry in a big way. Meanwhile, Sniper's been hurt and forced away in the north. Got Grenadiers in the crater fighting for dear life. The victory points aren't looking as healthy as they once were for Orangepest. He's actually lost out quite a bit in the recent times.
Yeah, it's really starting to sort of... You can see the map and its overall shape right now. There is just a lot of attrition going on both sides, and we've got a Grant.
You've got that weird uncle at the wedding that your father warned you about. It's Uncle Grant on the field, and yeah, it's a very ugly tank. It served its purpose. The American factories and designers were given a job, and they made that cannon on that chassis. It happened. And there it is.
It's a very, very, very interesting tank. One thing I must admit is I prefer the Grant over the General Lee for just the simple fact of its name. The Grant is spreading.
Doesn't it have
spreading
an extra
democracy.
machine gun or something? Is that the only difference? Here we go. Rear armor from the Panzer IV is showing here, but doesn't seem to matter. There we go. We do finally have a rear armor hit.
I'm pretty sure it does, yes, and it's also got a bit of a different turret layout. It's got
For
a
the
different
radio,
turret.
isn't it? For the Brits. They demanded
Yeah,
space for radio.
yeah.
That's that bit at the back, I believe, should be.
Research
If
It
it's
is
modelled
indeed.
correctly. If it's modelled correctly. Meanwhile, Matilda
Ooh.
down. Pack 40 gets in good position with Jaeger support, taking out the Matilda. And the
That
MG's
AT
also-
gun paying off. Paying for
Yes, in a
itself.
big way. Veterancy 1 now on that thing as well.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ah, the
Absolutely
Lee has the turret on top. Thank you, Pat Phoenix. Okay, let's
It's a wonderful
talk resources. Got 140 in the bag for Orangepest. He's at 98 pop cap. Meanwhile, IncaUna, he's got 67 fuel. He's at 75 pop cap. He's may have 220 victory points, and he has a lot of munitions. Surely he's going to start using perimeter monitor, off-map airburst barrage soon. In fact, he may have just done so. Let's see what's going to happen next. That's just the Recce barrage, it would seem.
Our adversary
Honestly,
is down to
as weird as it
250
sounds
points
this
now.
late in the game, but a mortar might not be a bad investment.
No,
at
just to
this
smoke out Orangepest and get through those suppressive platforms. That's a great call, Animarchy.
The mortar does a shiitake mushroom amount of damage in Company Heroes 3. It absolutely wrecks face. So maybe that to get rid of all these AT guns and machine guns, although that AT gun seems to be in a bit of a fix.
Sniper
Oh, no,
down,
the
by
left-
the way. Sniper did
Oh.
not survive that. I thought it had, but it did not indeed. Sniper dead. IncaUna's coming in for it here. Lamau called by Inca. Nice zombie pack, he says. He says it's a zombie. Somehow it's surviving.
Victory point is under enemy control.
Oh no. Rip to a real one. Rip to Major Koenig. He died as he lived, an absolute Chad.
But now in more pieces.
Yeah. Well, what good is being a Chad if you're not able to spread the love? You know what I mean?
Oh dear.
As many places as possible.
Oh dear. Right, we've got the Gurkhas with their Thompsons forced away immediately there. They didn't stand a chance. Victory point situation is being closely fought over. Meanwhile, the Grant climbed up to 4 infantry kills, but is focusing on destroying all the rocks it possibly can. The rocks must die. That's why it's got such a low cannon. It can't find a good angle with that 75mm and the sponson there.
Absolutely, absolutely. The M3 Grant there thought that rock was actually Cold Harbor, and he just wanted to ruin it with as much HE as possible.
Oh, perimeter Overwatch being utilised, I believe. These Grens could be in for a tough time. Yep, they're going to realise soon. There we go.
Ooh.
To be honest, I don't think Orangepest wants many of these. He does here. This MG could be next.
Man, those recon squads on the Tommies are just absolutely brutal once they get some veterancy on them.
They bloody well are. Yeah.
Gnarly.
MG somehow survives all of that second Panzer IV on its way. Orangepest thanking IncaUna for freeing up PopCap to get 2 tanks now.
They are securing our capture point.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, of course, yet it is another Panzer IV.
Welcome to the Master League. It's been like this for the past 4 years, regardless of which game we're in.
So they're playing as the Germans. It can't be a plane at this stage.
We have lost
Ha,
control
very
of the
true.
victory point.
Ooh, nice flank. Nice flank from Frankenstein's Munster. The Grant getting a kill there. There's 2 of them now. Oh dear, oh dear. Meanwhile, Pack 40's in a great position. Can it follow up with a shot? Should be attack rounding its little face off right now, but it can't get there. Meanwhile, in the north, the Gurkhas are in trouble.
General Grant rearing his ugly head again. Absolutely gnarly play. Absolutely gnarly play. That was brutal. That was art. That was very Grantian generalship with Grant tanks. Absolute brute force. Just hey diddle diddle, straight down the middle. The traitors must die.
Yes,
But
I concur. We got the Panzer IV in the north. This is a stolen MG42. The M3 Grant, the non-victorious one, the one that was just there to watch, is trying to force these things away because the victory point battle is becoming very real.
it's starting to get a bit tense. We've got the loiter in now.
Oh, look at that!
Whoa.
Oh my god! That was incredible!
Oh.
180
Oh.
degree turn in midair, and aerial. How would you describe that
Oh.
aerial maneuver? Please describe it for us.
That was, my god, that was an inverted Pugachev's Cobra.
Wow!
In a Junkers 87 Stuka.
What kind of skill and what kind of training do you need to pull that maneuver off in combat like that?
Well, first off, you need to replace your circulatory system with heated plasma, so you don't immediately succumb to the insane G-force that he just experienced. I mean,
Sorry, just what? It was a reverse Cobra, did you say?
A Pugachev's Cobra designed for use in the SU-27 flanker. series of
Pugachev's
fighter jet
Cobra.
fighters.
Excellent.
But Hans Ulrich Rudel had to have been transferred in from the Eastern Front to pull that maneuver, and even then, look, I don't care how much of an auto recovery system that the Stuka has for its high G dives. It ain't gonna be able to do that. But that Panzer IV is looking lonely out there.
It is, and these Grants are hungry. But, as I say, the 75 mils are too low. They just hit rock. The Panzer IV is going to be able to get out of there. Gurkha watching on, forced away. Meanwhile, the victory point situation is somehow still looking stable for Orangepest. And we've got IncaUna down on 81. He needs to...
This is coming... Yeah. Oh my god, this is coming down to the wire. He's gambling with life and death with those tanks. They are down to 1/3 health each. And there are too many packs walking around for that to be safe. Oh. Oh. God, this is the Somme with sand. It is rather brutal out here.
It bloody well is. Right. These infantry sectors have to get into the battle. The MG42 also. We've got dueling MGs. But that'll help out. A bit of smoke from the Jaeger squad, smoking that MG out, taking it out of the battle, whilst this MG, the German one, remains in combat. Meanwhile, in the north, the Vet 3 Jaegers cap there. We've got a cap in the centre. That could be game from Orangepest. You know how powerful triple caps are in CoH3?
It could be absolutely devastating. I mean, we all know that hot air rises, especially on sand, but you see, it doesn't apply to these physics. That smoke is going to stay there, cutting off any chance for that machine gun to get the suppression. Triple cap it is, and look, in the time it's going to take for those infantry down south to decap, he's going to knock down another 10 points off that point counter, and it's looking grim. It's looking grim for the Brits.
Just before we get to the VP death struggle, we are going to go over to our tactical pause replay brought to you by Relic Entertainment.
We've got the loiter in
Absolutely.
now.
Oh, look
insane. Look at that maneuver from
No,
the,
hang on a
from
second,
the
hang on a second for chat. Here we go, here we go.
We've got the loiter in now.
Oh, look at that!
Whoa.
Oh my god! That was incredible!
Oh.
There we go. There's your tactical pause replay brought to you by Relic Entertainment. Thank you for that. Back to your Game 4 victory point struggle game. Let's see who's going to win this one. Is it going to be Orangepest or IncaUna? He's fighting hard for the central victory point. He's fighting hard for the southern one.
It's 3 up, 2 down, 9th inning. The scores are tied. It's time for the big one, ladies and gentlemen. It's all on the line. Oh my god. We have ourselves the boy.
Certainly bloody do. Central victory points under hot contention at the moment. The Grant's fighting, as is its cousin also, the Grant. Here we go, the Pack 40 in cloak mode unveils itself with a thunder. Look at the health damage from cloak mode there.
Jawohl. Oh, damn. There goes the Panzer IV. It do indeed be while we're marching through Georgia in Tunisia. That is a lot of fire on that tank.
Certainly is. In the north, infantry section capping that victory point. To the south, Grenadiers capping there. This is getting really tense for the Romanian Inca at the moment. Orangepest knows what he needs to do. He needs to just control things, build up his army, and make one final successful assault on 2 victory points at the same time, and he can bleed his opponent out. Inca does not want to allow that to happen.
He's living on the edge. He's living on the edge here. There is just so much being thrown around. Inca with his dual-gunned monstrosities are absolutely wreaking havoc on his hands of
And he's got the elevation this time. He's got a depression. It certainly helps with that
cannon.
cannon.
Target the infantry. Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
Oh, clutch play. Catching
Meanwhile,
that
this is clutch
75.
play.
Oh.
The central victory points being capped. We do have a Brit ability utilised probably. Yes, it is indeed. The mortar. The cap's going to be completed, though. That could be game. He couldn't stop it in time. And that's all she's going to write. Here come Goering Stukas yet again.
Amazingly with fuel, too. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible stuff.
Let's just hope for another one of those moments, those $60 moments. Oh, here it comes! Oh, he just missed the Caspar!
Oh, you can just feel the blood drain from your head with that maneuver. Just absolutely
70 Gs of movement. He nearly topped 20 kilometers per hour there on that dive.
Good lord. IncaUna is from Romania, correct?
He certainly is.
Well, I feel that he might have a bit of rage to direct at his countrymen. All the fuel that the Stukas are using are currently from CoH3 Romania, so
Oh,
he's being
damn it.
hosted by his own petard here. It's too late now.
Gren's fighting
can't
for
get
life.
this cap.
13 victory points remain. In the south, we've got a vital cap, but here comes the Jaegers smoking him out. He's going to try and body block him. He just wants him to get away from it, but he can't complete the cap,
he can't
indeed.
do it. He can't do it. That's game. That is game. Absolutely magnificent.
Look at this magnificent Kettenkrad sacrificing himself for the Reich to get Orangepest.
Oh my god, Orangepest literally built that Kettenkrad. He was born to die. Life is a fuck. 10,000 dead VPs. He just gave it his all. And
One
like a
victory
meme
point remains,
from,
but
oh
it's-
my god, decap.
Yeah, he got the decap in the centre just about. Grant's out. Over here. Oh, look at her. It is the artillery.
The NG squad running for heroism. Oh no. But the
This could be it, though. The last final push. Grenadier Pioneer in the circle.
Artillery decap, holding on to that decap for dear life, but the top VP is about to go down to a unit. There is so much time.
Look at that. He's got the guys from the...
Get cheese.
We've got GG confirmed. The Casbar's gone down.
Oh no.
This is all she
very-
wrote.
It's very sad. It's very sad, but that was a clutch play. Look at that. Taking it down to 1 point.
Oh, it's all he
1
needed.
point.
Falschmigas would have won in the game either way, but it was a cracking game by Inca. Oh, we get the stats. Oh, thank you. I've wanted to see the stats for a really long time. They probably don't actually make any sense, but there they are anyway. Wow, army value, points held. Points held's a good one, I guess. Oh, that looks like it's working. Okay, nice.
I'm really sad that my Civil War jokes were not picked up on by the chat, but alas, I'll have to. My autism has taken a step too far, a bridge too far, as it were. But alas,
For some berets, it would seem. As let's just. That's not. It's the first time I've been able to see the stats in one of these casts. So I'm just very excited by this moment. And I don't. The numbers, Mason. What do they mean? I don't know. Hopefully you guys got something from this. I don't usually get the stats in one of these. So that's a pretty good moment. But GG, well played to Orangepest. Well played to Inca for good sportsmanship in Game 3 in particular. It was a cracking series. Well done, guys.
kept on playing right to the last bell. Good show all round.
Absolutely. And we've got a bit of a delay before we get the grand finals later. We've also got to wait for Tightrope to wake up as well, because he's going to be casting the grand final later. So we're going from Australia to New Zealand. But thanks to Animarchy for casting today. It's been lovely having you.
It's been fun. Love to do it again sometime.
So he's got
Maybe with less anime.
he's got a yeah, he's got a very interesting YouTube where he does a lot of historical breakdowns and documentaries and stuff. So go check that out. It's blown up in the last year, so it's always interesting. And there's a lot of other replays that have been posted in the channel. Some results we can go through. Hopefully no spoilers, but yeah, wow, some big ass replay sizes out there. So maybe can have a look at one of them in a break. But yeah, you will get the grand final later today, probably in 1.5 hours time. So yeah, should be good. Should be good.
Looking forward to see the finals go up. Gonna be absolutely incredible stuff.
Yeah, if you miss it this evening, it will be on YouTube tomorrow morning UK time. So look out for it there. Should be a good one. And Animarchy, any shout-outs you want to give, mate?
Yes, I do. I want to give several shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out to the chat for being legends. Absolutely awesome. Come subscribe to me, Animarchy History, obviously. Plug, shill. Also like to give